Lesson Plan Evaluation Assignment by Jenna Cater for Teaching Disciplinary Literacy, Spring 2018. I did the lesson plan over biotechnology. Does the lesson plan contain a writing component? Yes, the lesson plan contains a writing component. At the very end of the lesson, the students have a reflection assignment. The students answer the questions, what did you learn, and what do you still have questions about? The students are expected to incorporate vocabulary from the lesson and display concept comprehension. Since the students are expected to use vocabulary terms from the lesson, there's a component for the students to write like they would within their discipline in the real world. Does the lesson plan require students to interact at some point as an intellectual community? Do they share their knowledge, learning, findings using the language of the discipline? Yes, the lesson plan does require students to interact. During this lesson, there is 3 different points in which the students must interact and speak aloud to share their knowledge, learning, findings using the language of the discipline. The first time is when the students must review and discuss the answers to the warm-up question. The second time is when the students must discuss the codon sheet in a think, pair, share. The third time is when the students are in pairs and are manipulating the DNA code while using whiteboards. Does the lesson plan include a project-based activity? Are they doing the work that a real scientist, mathematician, historian, etc. would do in the real world? Yes, the lesson plan includes a project-based activity. The students are provided with whiteboards and 2 examples of DNA sequences ready for students to practice pairing. The students are practicing by transcribing to mRNA and translating into polypeptide sequences. I do feel that this is something that a real scientist would be doing in a real-world job. Does the lesson require the students to think like a scientist, like a historian, like a mathematician, etc.? Does it require students to learn, use, know a specific set of behaviors dedicated to the discipline or area of study within the discipline? Yes, the lesson plan requires students to think like a scientist. In order to understand the process of transcription and translation, you have to have a lot of scientific vocabulary knowledge. You have to think on a molecular level in order to understand how DNA works and understand the specific set of behaviors that they are required to have in order to be a dedicated scientist. Is this a quality lesson plan? I do feel that this is a quality lesson plan. There are plenty of opportunities for the students to discuss and share their thoughts while using the vocabulary for the lesson. The lesson plan also includes a component where the students get to manipulate the DNA sequence and practice transcription and translation. The only thing that I think would add onto the project component was if the students had a DNA manipulative to use to practice transcription and translation with. The lesson plan also contains a writing component at the end where the students are required to use the discipline's vocabulary terms and will give the teacher an idea if they understood the lesson concept. Overall, I think this was a very effective lesson.